Okay, so, ready to jack into some serious style.
Because today we are diving deep into, like, the fashion of Cyberpunk 2077.
Yeah.
Now, before you think this is just a quick detour into neon jackets and cybernetic implants.
Trust me, there's way more to Night City fashion than meets the eye, right?
Right.
We're using this awesome article you sent us to explore how these outrageous looks actually reflect like deep societal divisions
Yeah.
and how people express themselves in a world where, well, everything's gone a little haywire.
Absolutely. It's almost like a visual language, right?
Right.
And, we do a more subtle version of this in the real world. Think about it. You walk down the street
Yeah.
and you instantly make judgments about people based on their clothes.
Yeah.
Cyberpunk just cranks that up to 11,
Exactly.
with holographic tattoos and self-lacing combat boots.
It's like, yeah, your wardrobe is a survival tactic and a personal billboard all in one.
Okay, so let's break down this article. It dives into the fashion of each major faction in Night City.
Okay.
We've got Corpos, Street Kids, Nomads, and Moxes.
Each with a look as distinct as their entire worldview.
Right.
Let's start with the corporate sharks themselves, the Corpos.
Ah, the Corpos, yeah. Power suits get a serious upgrade in 2077, don't they?
Oh yeah, forget boring old pinstripes. This article talks about data streams woven into their collars, fabrics that shift color in the light. It's high-tech minimalism with an air of, I can access the global network with a flick of my wrist.
And that's the point, isn't it?
Right.
In a city drowning in chaos, the Corpos' rigid, controlled aesthetic. It's a power move.
Yeah,
They're saying, we are order, we are in control. It's not just fashion, it's intimidating.
totally. Imagine yourself like walking into a high-stakes negotiation.
Oh, yeah.
And across the table is someone in one of these suits. Data flowing across their lapel. Who do you think has the upper hand?
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And, there's a fascinating paradox there. On the surface, it's all about control and conformity, right?
Mm-hmm.
But those subtle tech flexes, the way the fabric moves,
Mm-hmm.
it hints at the immense power these guys wield beneath the surface. It's like their suits are whispering, don't underestimate me.
It's like this minimalist suit costs more than your entire apartment building.
Precisely. And, the funny thing is you can steal a little bit of that corpo power without needing a corporate expense account.
Right.
Think like tailored blazers, sharp lines, maybe a minimalist watch with a techie twist.
Ooh, yes.
That-
Or even just a pop of metallic in your accessories.
It's about that understated authority.
Absolutely. Okay, now let's talk about the flip side of the coin.
Okay.
The street kids.
If the corpos are all about sleek minimalism,
Right.
these guys are a glorious explosion of rebellion and DIY style.
Oh, absolutely. The article calls out their love for ripped denim, but we're not talking about your average distressed jeans.
Right.
Think glowing circuitry patterns woven into the fabric, LED lights flashing with every step.
It's like they're taking the city's tech waste and turning it into wearable art.
Absolutely. And that speaks to their resourcefulness, right?
Yeah.
In a world where the corpos control everything, the street kids are taking what they can find, hacking it, reclaiming it, making it their own.
Yeah.
And they're doing it with serious style.
Yeah.
The article also mentions these bold graphic tees.
Often with, cyberpunk themes or anti-establishment messages.
It's fashion as a form of protest.
Right. It's about visibility, about making their voices heard in a world that would rather ignore them.
And I love how it reflects real-world streetwear culture.
Using clothing to express your identity and your affiliations.
And you know what? You don't need a Night City street corner to rock a little street kid style.
Throw on a band tee, rip those jeans, maybe add some neon laces to your sneakers.
Yeah.
It's all about embracing that, rebellious spirit, that DIY attitude.
Exactly. It's about finding your voice through fashion, even if it's a little, rough around the edges.
Now let's shift gears and head out to the Badlands,
Okay.
where we find the Nomads.
The Nomads.
These guys have traded the neon-drenched alleys for the open road.
And their style reflects that shift. The article describes their look as practical meets post-apocalyptic chic.
Think layers upon layers of worn leather, rugged boots.
Yeah.
And those earthy, desert-inspired colors that just scream, I've seen things, man.
Right. Every piece of clothing has a purpose, a story to tell. The article specifically mentions their love for patchwork, adding extra pockets, reinforcing seams.
Right.
It's like a testament to their resilience.
Wow.
Their ability to adapt and thrive in a harsh environment.
I love that. Every rip, every patch is like a badge of honor, a reminder of where they've been and what they've overcome.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And while functionality is key.
There's still a clear nomad aesthetic.
Right.
The article points out their use of natural fabrics, like canvas and leather, often dyed in these rich, earthy tones. It's like they're borrowing from the landscape itself.
So it's practical, yes, but also incredibly stylish.
It's like saying, yeah, I can survive in the wasteland, but I want to look damn good doing it.
And you know what? You can totally channel that nomad vibe without having to hotwire a beat-up car.
Oh, absolutely.
Right.
A worn leather jacket, a chunky knit scarf, some cargo pants with all the pockets.
Yes. And a good pair of boots is a must.
Thinks of something sturdy, reliable, like they could carry you across a desert or at least get you through a busy day in the concrete jungle.
Speaking of concrete jungles, we can't forget the last faction on our list, the Moxes.
If the nomads find freedom on the open road,
Right.
the Moxes carve out their own space in the heart of Night City.
And their style is all about owning their power.
Oh, yeah. The article describes their look as a mix of futuristic glam and edgy rebellion.
They're not afraid to push boundaries, whether it's with bold silhouettes, daring cuts,
Right.
or those like eye-catching holographic fabrics that seem to change color with every move.
Right. And let's not forget those body-conscious silhouettes.
The Moxes know how to own their sexuality and express it through their clothing.
It's about confidence, about challenging conventional beauty standards and saying, this is me, take it or leave it.
And from the sounds of the article, it is usually some combination of metallics, leather, and strategically placed buckles.
Precisely. And yet there's also this interesting juxtaposition with elements from like punk and fetish subcultures.
It's as if they're taking inspiration from throughout history, blending it with futuristic technology to create something truly unique and empowering.
It's like they raided a cyberpunk costume party.
And came out looking, like, fierce.
And hey, you don't have to like join a gang to rock a little Mox energy.
Exactly. Maybe it's a statement jacket with holographic detail.
Maybe it's a pair of killer boots that make you feel unstoppable. It's about embracing that confidence, that refusal to be put in a box.
So we've explored the Corpos, the street kids, the nomads, the Moxes, each with their own distinct style, their own way of using fashion as like a weapon,
Yeah.
a shield, a declaration of who they are in this neon-soaked jungle of Night City.
And what's fascinating is that it reflects like a very real truth about our world too.
We may not have cybernetic enhancements
Right.
yet,
Right.
but our clothing choices still speak volumes.
Right. Think about it. If you saw someone walking down the street in a tailored suit,
Oh, yeah.
wouldn't you make certain assumptions about them?
Totally.
Or someone rocking a band tee and ripped jeans?
Absolutely. We constantly make judgments and assumptions based on clothing.
Even if we don't realize we're doing it.
Yeah.
It's a universal language we all speak, whether we want to or not.
Exactly. And just like in Cyberpunk 2077, we use clothing to fit in, to stand out, to express our values, our aspirations, even our anxieties.
It's true.
And what I find really interesting is how much our clothing choices can empower us.
Even if you're not consciously thinking about it, that perfect outfit can give you the confidence to nail a job interview or finally ask that person out or just, conquer the day.
Oh, totally. It's like putting on a suit of armor.
But a suit of armor that also happens to look amazing.
Precisely.
Yeah.
So, as we wrap up our deep dive into the fashion of Cyberpunk 2077, I have one final thought-provoking question for now.
Okay.
If your clothes are telling a story, what story are they telling right now?
Ooh, that's a good one. What faction are you rocking today? Let us know. And if you want even more inspiration, be sure to check out Cyberpunk 2077.
The game is a visual feast. Until next time, keep exploring, keep expressing yourself, and remember, style is a language everyone understands.